Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. We all know that living a healthy lifestyle is important for our physical well-being, but did you know that it's also crucial for our brain health? That's right, the things we do every day can have a huge impact on our cognitive function, memory, and overall brain health. Today we're diving into 8 surprisingly common habits that could be secretly damaging your brain without you even realizing it. Don't worry, I'm not here to scare you. We'll be discussing each habit in detail, explaining why it's harmful, and most importantly, giving you practical tips on how to avoid or change these habits to protect your precious brain. Stick around to find out what they are and how you can keep your mind sharp. Let's kick things off with a habit that many of us are guilty of: not getting enough sleep. You know that feeling when you're sleep deprived and your brain feels foggy? Well, that's not just a feeling, it's a real physiological response. When we don't get enough sleep, our brain cells don't have enough time to repair and regenerate, leading to cognitive impairment, memory problems, and difficulty concentrating. Think of it like this. Sleep is like taking out the trash for your brain. During sleep, your brain gets rid of toxins and waste products that accumulate throughout the day. Skimp on sleep, and that trash builds up, interfering with your brain's ability to function at its best. Chronic sleep deprivation has even been linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative disorders, so making sleep a priority is crucial for long-term brain health. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. Establish a regular sleep schedule, create a relaxing bedtime routine, and make sure your bedroom is cool, dark, and quiet to optimize your sleep environment. Remember, prioritizing sleep is an investment in your brain health and overall well-being. Next up, we have another sneaky culprit that can wreak havoc on your brain: chronic stress. We all experience stress from time to time, and that's perfectly normal. However, when stress becomes chronic and overwhelming, it can have detrimental effects on our brain structure and function. Chronic stress releases a surge of hormones like cortisol, which in excess can damage brain cells, particularly in areas responsible for memory and learning, like the hippocampus. Imagine your brain as a muscle. Just like a muscle can become fatigued and weak under constant strain, so too can your brain under chronic stress. This can manifest as difficulty concentrating, brain fog, memory problems, and even anxiety and depression. So, what can we do to combat this? Well, incorporating stress management techniques into your daily routine is key. Exercise is a fantastic stress reliever, as it releases endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects. Mindfulness practices like meditation and deep breathing can help calm your mind and reduce stress levels. And don't underestimate the power of social connections. Talking to a friend, family member, or therapist can provide support and help you manage stress effectively. Remember, managing stress isn't selfish. It's essential for maintaining a healthy brain and overall well-being. Now let's talk about something that many of us enjoy: a little too much of sugar. While a sweet treat here and there won't harm you, excessive sugar intake can have serious consequences for your brain health. Think of your brain as a high-performance car. It needs the right fuel to function optimally. And just like putting low-quality fuel in your car can lead to engine problems, flooding your brain with sugar can disrupt its delicate balance. Excessive sugar intake can lead to insulin resistance, which means your brain cells aren't able to utilize glucose, their primary energy source, effectively. This can result in brain fog, fatigue, and difficulty concentrating. Moreover, high sugar intake has been linked to an increased risk of dementia, including Alzheimer's disease. So, how can you protect your brain from the dangers of sugar overload? The key is moderation and making healthier dietary choices. Limit sugary drinks like soda and fruit juices, and opt for water, unsweetened tea, or sparkling water instead. Choose whole, unprocessed foods like fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains over processed snacks and sugary treats. Remember, you don't have to give up sugar entirely, but being mindful of your intake can go a long way in snacks and sugary treats. Remember, you don't have to give up sugar entirely, but being mindful of your intake can go a long way in protecting your brain health. Chapter 4: Smoking, the brain's worst enemy. Let's move on to a habit that's not only harmful to your lungs, but also incredibly damaging to your brain: smoking. We all know that smoking is bad for us, but its impact on the brain is often underestimated. Smoking deprives your brain of oxygen, which is essential for its proper functioning. Think of it like this: smoking is like suffocating your brain, slowly but surely. The chemicals in cigarette smoke damage blood vessels, increase the risk of stroke, and accelerate brain cell death. This can lead to a decline in cognitive function, memory problems, and an increased risk of dementia. Quitting smoking is arguably the single most important thing you can do for your brain health. It's never too late to quit, and the benefits of quitting begin almost immediately. There are many resources available to help you quit, including nicotine replacement therapy, medications, and support groups. Talk to your doctor about the best approach for you. Remember, quitting smoking is a gift you give not only to your body, but also to your precious brain. Chapter 5. Sedentary Lifestyle. Don't let your brain sit still. Now let's address a habit that's become increasingly prevalent in our modern world: living a sedentary lifestyle. In today's digital age, it's easy to spend hours sitting in front of screens, but this lack of physical activity can have serious consequences for our brain health. Our brains thrive on movement. When we engage in physical activity, our heart rate increases, pumping more blood and oxygen to our brain. This boost in circulation nourishes brain cells, improves cognitive function, and enhances memory and learning. Exercise also stimulates the release of growth factors, which are like fertilizer for your brain, promoting the growth and survival of brain cells. Conversely, a sedentary lifestyle increases the risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease, all of which are linked to cognitive decline and dementia. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise most days of the week. This could include brisk walking, jogging, swimming, cycling, or any activity that gets your heart rate up. Remember, a sedentary lifestyle is a recipe for a sluggish brain. Get moving and give your brain the stimulation it craves. Chapter 6. Excessive alcohol consumption, the brain's toxic tip. Let's talk about a habit that often goes hand in hand with socializing: alcohol consumption. While a glass of wine with dinner now and then is unlikely to cause harm, excessive alcohol consumption can have detrimental effects on your brain. Alcohol is a neurotoxin, meaning it's toxic to brain cells. When you drink alcohol, it enters your bloodstream and travels to your brain, where it interferes with communication between brain cells. This can lead to impaired judgment, slurred speech, and difficulty coordinating movements. Over time, excessive alcohol consumption can damage brain cells, shrink brain volume, and increase the risk of dementia. The key here is moderation. If you choose to drink alcohol, do so responsibly and in moderation. For women, that means up to 1 drink per day, and for men, up to 2 drinks per day. It's also essential to be mindful of the type of alcohol you consume. Opt for lower alcohol options and avoid sugary cocktails, which can contribute to weight gain and other health problems. Remember, moderation is key when it comes to alcohol and protecting your brain health. Chapter 7. Social isolation. Don't let your brain feel lonely. Let's move on to a habit that's often overlooked but can have a profound impact on our brain health: social isolation. Humans are social creatures by nature, and our brains thrive on social interaction. When we engage with others, our brains release hormones like oxytocin and dopamine, which have mood-boosting and stress-reducing effects. Social interaction also challenges our brains, keeping them sharp and agile. Conversely, social isolation and loneliness have been linked to cognitive decline, memory problems, and an increased risk of dementia. Think of it like this: social interaction is like exercise for your brain, keeping it fit and healthy. Social isolation. Don't let your brain feel lonely. Let's move on to a habit that's often overlooked but can have a profound impact on our brain health: social isolation. Humans are social creatures by nature, and our brains thrive on social interaction. When we engage with others, our brains release hormones like oxytocin and dopamine, which have mood-boosting and stress-reducing effects. Social interaction also challenges our brains, keeping them sharp and agile. Conversely, social isolation and loneliness have been linked to cognitive decline, memory problems, and an increased risk of dementia. Think of it like this: social interaction is like exercise for your brain, keeping it fit and healthy. Make an effort to stay socially connected. Spend time with loved ones, join clubs or groups that interest you, volunteer in your community, or simply strike up conversations with people you encounter in your daily life. Remember, social connections are not only good for your heart, but also essential for maintaining a healthy and thriving brain. Chapter 8. Lack of mental stimulation. Challenge your brain. Finally, let's talk about the importance of keeping our brains stimulated. Just like our bodies need physical activity to stay healthy, our brains need mental exercise to stay sharp and agile. Think of your brain as a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Engaging in mentally stimulating activities challenges our brains, creates new neural connections, and strengthens existing ones. This helps improve cognitive function, memory, and overall brain health. Conversely, a lack of mental stimulation can lead to cognitive decline, boredom, and a feeling of stagnation. So, how can you keep your brain challenged? The possibilities are endless. Learn a new language, take up a musical instrument, try a new hobby, read books, solve puzzles, or engage in any activity that requires you to think critically and learn new things. Remember, a stimulated brain is a healthy brain. Challenge yourself, learn new things, and keep your mind engaged. That's a wrap on 8 surprising habits that could be damaging your brain. Remember, your brain is like a muscle. You need to exercise it and take care of it to keep it healthy and strong. By making small changes to your lifestyle, like getting enough sleep, managing stress, eating a healthy diet, and staying physically and mentally active, you can protect your brain health and keep your mind sharp for years to come. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more health tips. Stay healthy and keep your brain sharp.